It's about that time. It's about time for prospective teachers and returning teachers to look for a new English teaching job abroad in most places, because it's August, coming September, the new school year. So a lot of new teachers are starting to look for jobs now. Well, there are some warning signs and some things to be careful of and to look out for as you're looking for your new EFL job, your new English teaching abroad job. So today, I want to give you 3 big warning signs, 3 things to look out for, do's and don'ts, if you will, before you start looking for and agreeing to your new EFL job. Let's go. It's August, it's almost September, which means it's time that teachers or prospective teachers are looking for a new English teaching job, right? Maybe this is your first English teaching job that you're looking for, in which case this video is super valuable. Hi there, I'm Jesse from Sweed Academy, and I want to help you in your English teaching career and in the classroom especially. But in my experience since 2006, I've seen a lot of good things and a lot of bad things and a lot of dangerous things and a lot of things in between, right? But today I want to share with you 3 main pieces of advice when looking for an English teaching job to help you find a safe job, to find a secure job, to be able to be paid on time every time, to find a school that won't take advantage of you, find owners that won't take advantage of you, and just general things to be aware of in this job hunt, job search, because it's very unique, right? Because you have schools and, well, let's call them like business owners, right? Entrepreneurs, people who just want to get a cash grab, because the English teaching industry is booming in many countries, right? So local people, business people see this and they say, well, English is in high demand, so an English academy is just easy money, but it's not. The competition's high and there's a lot of overhead and things that they don't see. But they also see new, inexperienced, young teachers that are outside of their comfort zone, that are outside of their home country, outside of their own language, and they're vulnerable, right? They see you as being vulnerable. So I want to help you and give you some advice, 3 things to look out for when searching for a job. I also have a video, and I'll link that below, how to find your first job, how to find a job, and some useful websites and tips to look for your first EFL job. I'll link that below. But let's get into these. Keep these in mind as you're looking out for a job. And the first one is, be aware offers that seem too good to be true, right? And I've mentioned this in my other video, but offers that are too good. And the general rule of thumb is, look around at a few different places. Send your application to a few different places in the same area, the same city, the same country even. And well, even prices will vary from city to city. For example, in South Korea, prices in Seoul will pay, in schools in Seoul will pay a little bit more than schools in like rural Korea, right? Same thing in Spain, Madrid, and like rural towns in Spain, right? So, but in the same city, in the same location, look at a few different places and see what they're offering, what their hours are, what the pay is, what your responsibilities are, and stay in that kind of zone. Everything should be pretty standard. If something's way up here and way too good, no, that's not for you. If something's way down here and like, ugh, that is not near what the rest of them are, stay away from that. You might be tempted to think, well, I'm the first year teacher, so let me start at the bottom. No. Right? Stay in that sweet spot. Stay in that average kind of zone, right? And like also along with this, beware of stories of grandeur, I guess I could say. I've heard crazy stories of people who I knew this person who knew this person that they went to South Korea and taught, and they made $60,000 after taxes and after spending to take home. Okay. No. So you could, by the way, supplement your income and make a lot more if you want to work a lot and teach a lot of private classes. I'll make a video later and tell you some tricks and tips on how to find private classes and how to teach them. I also have some private class lessons on the channel too. But stay in that zone and don't have your expectations be high. Always be aware of this sentence. X knew a person who Y. Fill in your name for X and fill in whatever fantastic offer they had and whatever fantastic deal they had, right? Always be aware of this, whether looking for an EFL job or buying a new car or anything in life, right? X knew a person who Y. My sister knew a person who found a job that were paying $3,000 a month and they only had to work 12 hours. Okay. Something like that, right? Always be aware of offers that are too good and be aware of that sentence. Number 2, look out for scam artists and just people trying to take your money, right? They're all over the internet and they prey on whoever they can prey on, whether it is finding an EFL job, finding a car, finding a house, finding a soulmate, anything in life. Just be aware of scam artists and do your due diligence and do a little bit of research before you commit to anything. And in finding an EFL job, there are plenty of scam artists in many different capacities. One of the biggest that I came across was a company contacting you and offering to distribute your CV or your resume to different companies and strengthening your CV, building it, giving it to schools, and connecting you to jobs, which we normally call these recruiting offices, and you don't have to pay for those, right? They get paid by the schools. But be aware of these people. Don't pay anybody to send your resume and make contacts to schools, because there are plenty of legit job agencies, recruiting offices that will do that for you, because like I said before, the school pays them, right? They're on contract with them and they work for the schools. So the schools pay them and they connect the teachers and the students. I also have that in the video I told you about before too. And let me share a story about this, my story. So be aware, because it's kind of like the frog that you put in the pot of water. If you put the frog in the pot of boiling water, it's just going to jump out because the water's so hot. But if you put it in the water that's normal temperature, it'll just relax in there, sit maybe on a lily pad or under the water. And then you slowly turn the heat up and the frog will just stay in there until he boils to death, right? That's the approach these scam artists take. Because they'll first send you an email or send you a pop-up or send you something, some offer, like only $30 to beef up your resume, make it look presentable, make it look good. And I did this because I kind of didn't know. It wasn't when I was first starting out, but I was in a transition period. And you think, in the beginning, yeah, I want a strong resume. I want a strong CV. I want to stand out. One thing you should know in the English teaching field, that is important to an extent, but academies want teachers, right? That kind of trumps more than anything else. So there are plenty of English teaching jobs available. But I said, okay, it's $30. This is kind of like what we call in poker a feeler bet, right? A feeler bet in poker is when you make a bet, like a small bet that doesn't hurt you, but you get a lot of information. And that's what I use this as, this $30. So I was like, okay, let me sign up, because just in case. And then I sent them my resume, my CV, and paid them the $30. And then a few days later, I got a call. Yes, we received your resume and thank you. It looks good. Now, all you have to do is sign up for our program and this and that and this and that. And they tried calling me several times, which was warning signal number 1 or 2, because they tried calling, much like someone trying to just take your money. Okay, and then I contacted them. And as I was talking, I went on Google and typed their name. I forget the name now. It was like Teach Abroad Studies or whatever, right? I just typed in their business review, and then boom, the first several pages, the first several links were just scam, stay away, not legit, not good. And then knowing this, I was in the driver's seat as I was talking to him, and I was kind of stringing them along a little bit, but then just to see what he would offer, see how far it would go, to see their game, right? That's what I was doing. And eventually I was like, well, here's the thing. I'm not going to pay you anything because I don't believe you. I don't trust you that you're legit. And I've read some reviews. Oh, yes, people can say anything they want to say on the internet. And I beg you, I advise you not to trust anything you see on the internet. And I said, I actually agree with you. And so eventually they didn't get any more of my money. I told them, you already got $30 from me. Congratulations, you got that. Just go away and go to the next person or whatever. But you're finished with me. And that's all. Okay. All of this long story to say, be aware, be careful, and do your research. If something seems fishy, if something seems off, don't learn from your own mistakes, essentially. Not something this big anyway, because this could be like your life, like a year of your life or less, but if you end up in a wrong or dangerous position, or just hundreds of dollars or more, I hope not more, but just down the tube, right? Lost. So be aware, do your diligence, and just type in the company name that you're curious about, review, or just their website, and see for yourself. And number 3 kind of goes with that, but it's not necessarily scam artists, just overt scam artists, but be aware of shady deals and shady contract agreements and negotiations. And these are with schools. Like I said, schools see young teachers, new teachers. They know this field because they're always in this field. This is new to you, but they do this day in, day out, year in, year out. So they know what they're dealing with. They know that you are kind of vulnerable, right? Especially as a new teacher, you're young, you're fresh out of university maybe. This is maybe your first job or your first full-time job or something like that. Your first sending your CVs, first time sending your CV, having a job interview, that kind of thing. All of these first that you arrive somewhere and you don't want to rock the boat, right? And they know this. So they will kind of, and not all. I don't want to say they are against you and they're out to get you. Because let me tell you, I've been to, I don't even know, probably 6, 7, 8, 9 schools, part-time and full-time. And I've had almost exclusively fantastic experiences, right? A lot of my friends have had almost exclusively fantastic experiences, as far as contracts being paid on time, decent conditions, things like that, right? They've all been great. They've all been above board and perfect. And most of the people that I've known have had the same experiences. So don't get overly paranoid and overly scared. But there are these things that if it feels fishy, then look around. And let me share a story that just actually happened. So in a Facebook group, I'm a member of an English teachers Facebook group here in Seville. And those are great for looking for jobs or getting advice from other teachers or sharing lesson ideas, things like that. Join a Facebook group in an area that you want to teach. That's for one. But let me share a personal story that just happened yesterday. essentially. In the Facebook group, I saw an ad for a job, which there are tons of those now in August and September because everyone's looking for new teachers. Okay, so I saw this ad for a job, someone from a school posted, and it was for a part-time job. Perfect for what I'm looking at for. I'm looking for a part-time job with a few hours that are secure and safe. Okay, it was for 12 hours a week. Okay, I think that sounds good. Typically, 12-hour contracts are 12 hours maximum, right? You sign a 12-hour contract, then you'll probably work 12 hours because they'll want to get the most out of you for what they're paying, right? Logical. But a lot of the times they'll have fewer hours and then use the other hours as like substitutions if you need to sub or office hours, something like that. Okay, but I contact her and I say, I sent you an email. So I sent her an email telling her my name, my information. Maybe I'll do a video later on sending how to write an email and send it to a school. But I wrote an email giving my history, a brief summary of who I am and what I do, and a link to my website. And I get this in response. Hi, Jesse. The classes are mainly in the evening, but there might be some morning ones too. It's a 12-hour contract, but you would be teaching between 12 and 16 hours. Huh? Say what? The classes are for children, adults, and BE. If interested, we could schedule an interview for Friday morning. Okay. Well, that was timeout, the first red flag. It's a 12-hour contract, but I could be teaching between 12 and 16 hours. And that's not including if they have mandatory office hours, teachers' meetings, things like that. I got a bad feeling. If you get an email like that or you get a feeling like this, pass along and go to another school in that group that's hiring, unless you're desperate, and then maybe you can feel it out and sense a little more. But if you have bad feelings, just go back to the group and search another job that's offering, right? And go to that one. So this was a bit of a longer video. I hope that it was valuable. I hope these 3 things, I hope you take them and learn from them, and be careful as you're looking for an English teaching job. Again, like I said, they're not all out to get you, right? They're not all the enemy. They're not all shady business. In fact, a majority of them probably are not, right? A majority of them are, regulated, are trying to make a difference in their community, are trying to make a difference in students' lives. And that's wonderful to see. Like I said, most of my English teaching jobs have been above board and helpful and beneficial and enjoyable. So as you start your English teaching career, job, time, or as you continue, just good luck. Keep your head up, keep your eyes open, and be careful. Same as any kind of investment, like I said before, buying a car, buying a house, finding a job in your own country, finding a girlfriend, boyfriend, or getting married, any kind of decision that is kind of life impacting or can be, be careful. Do your homework and do your research, and that's about it. If you have any other specific questions, then let me know on Twitter, and you can ask me. All my Twitter, all my social media is down below. You can private message me or comment in this video where you're looking, and maybe some people in the community can help. If this helps you, then send it along to somebody else who is looking for an EFL job, and maybe it will help them too. Keep teaching and keep learning. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.